Hello, everybody. This is back on Let's Chat with Michael El-Bacha. Tonight is a very special night. Tonight is Gay Uncle Day. So we've just gone live. Happy Gay Uncle's Day to everybody. This is Michael El-Bacha. And tonight we have someone very, very special. He's an absolute international athlete. He is a columnist. He's a rugby star. He's a bobsleigh international. I mean, he's requested to join in. So let me just get him on. The one and only Simon Dunn, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just Simon. Okay, request to be in your video. Here we are. Okay, Simon's coming on. Oh, hello, Simon.
There I am. Can you hear me, Michael?
I can hear you fine. What an absolute
Perfect.
legend you are. Looking sharp.
You'll make me blush.
Look, you know, you're amazing. First and foremost, happy Gay Uncle's Day. Now,
Indeed.
I'm just going to
Happy Gay Uncle's Day.
Yeah, to you. I mean, you are you're an international star athlete. And I saw something that you posted on recently on your Facebook page about with your two nephews. I mean, what does it mean to you being a gay uncle?
So for me, I think being gay men, there's always that likelihood that we might never have kids. And for us, if we're going to have children, it's something we really need to plan out and kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together to make it happen. So I think as being a gay man, I try to be, I feel like I'm there for my nieces and nephews more than I would be if I had my own children. I think I'm lucky coming in from a third party, being able to guide them in their journey and watch them grow into great little humans that they are, and hopefully steer them in the right direction and not the wrong one.
Yeah, look, I can so relate with that. Being a gay uncle myself, I have the most beautiful relationship with my nieces and nephews. I don't know whether that's because I'm gay and they can. It's a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, big thing for me is so my niece and nephews have always known about my sexuality. It's never been something we've hidden from them, and I think we're in a point of privilege where we can make them be more understanding and accepting of other people and be the little
Oh, okay. There's a bit of a dropout. Yeah, Simon. Did you, you came back? You came back. What was that you were saying?
So the big thing for me is that we, being gay men, we have the chance to make them more understanding, accepting, and be the advocates that we in within their own communities just through our honesty with our sexuality.
Yeah, it's really sweet that you've actually just mentioned that your nieces and nephews know that you're gay. And what's their response to that?
They actually like my partner more than me. They've admitted that he is the favorite uncle.
Oh, really?
I've accepted it, but they're totally accepting. For them it's just normal. It's what it's always been. So it's great to be able to just show them that being gay or people of different sexualities or gender diversity is just part of society.
It's so important. So congratulations on being the face of Gay Uncle's Day. I know it's originally an American thing, and now
yeah. So several years ago, it came up on my social media, and as you have mentioned earlier, I'm quite a proud uncle, and so I decided to give it a bit of promotion. And the photo with me and my nephews at the beach seemed to have made it all around the world. So
it's so cute, and congratulations on today as well, and your partner as well for being the favorite gay uncle.
Being the favorite.
Yeah. And look, I guess Australia is known for your charity work, and with BGF, which is the Bobby Goldsmith Foundation.
Yep.
And what you don't know, you visit the clients of the BGF and see their corporate sponsors. What's your favorite part of being an ambassador for Bobby Goldsmith Foundation?
So the big thing for me is I've worked with charities in the UK. I've been working with HIV charities and LGBTQI inclusion work since I was a bobsledder and whilst I was a bobsledder. So it's easy for me to be the face of a campaign or be on a billboard promoting testing, for example, with Terence Higgins Trust in the UK. But being able to, with Bobby Goldsmith, it's great to be able to go out and actually meet the clients, work with people who are long-term survivors of HIV, people who lived through the AIDS crisis, hear their stories, get a better understanding of what they went through as during that time. Because I know notably my generation, we always viewed it as someone else's problem. It was the generation before us, so we never saw the impact that the AIDS crisis had. So it's good to be able to hear firsthand and hopefully share that message with people.
Oh, beautiful. And can I ask you, Simon, how old are you? Just out of curiosity.
I turned 34 on last Tuesday. So gotta love a lockdown birthday, don't you?
Happy birthday, Simon Dunn. That was beautifully said. Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all your amazing work. I mean, look, first and foremost, it's an honor, by the way, for tonight. I'm a huge fan of yours, right?
Thank you, Michael. I told you, you're going to make me blush.
Yeah, it's okay. You can blush. It's just, want to say also Peter Binning. Let's just mention that amazing soul. One of my best mates, and he's such a legend. And he calls you his adopted son. Now,
yeah,
let's talk about
So I used to be before sport. I used to actually be a real estate agent, and on my first day, I was handing out my card in Erskineville, and I saw Peter coming towards me, and he had a Ray White folder, and I was like, look, I'm gonna get this old queen. He's gonna sell his house with me. So I went up and started chatting to him, and we went around and appraised his house. We didn't list it, but when I was in real estate, I wasn't out professionally. And then he found my non-professional Facebook profile with pictures of me at ARC shirtless on podiums, and obviously not the straight real estate agent. And I asked him, please just make sure my boss doesn't know about this. And ever since then, he has been a mentor and a guide for me, and just someone to keep me on track and steer me in the right directions. He's an amazing human.
Yeah. He absolutely adores you. And that's when I had the honor of meeting you at Peter Binning's, Claire's Kitchen. Do you remember that at all? Do you remember this old man? Meeting you.
It's sad because it was meant to be on in, 2.5 weeks, but good old COVID strikes again.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you going with COVID, by the way? I mean, tell us a typical day of Simon Dunn pre-COVID as well. What's your day like?
So my day-to-day regular income is personal training. So obviously I'll get out and train clients and myself during the day. And COVID makes that a little bit difficult. So that in itself is big wall COVID brings out for work. My training, I've been sprinting and pushing sleds in Narrabeen, but they're out of the 10K radius, so I can't train properly. So you'll find me down on the cricket pitch at Moore Park, sprinting and jumping, and just trying to train whenever I can.
You're absolutely amazing. Look, now, I hear that you are UK's Attitude Hottest Man of the Year. Hello, I can see that right in front of me. In 2015, you beat out Channing Tatum, Zac Efron, David Beckham, Tom Daley, and Chris Evans. I mean...
And I'm still the reigning Attitude Hottest Man. I think after I won it, they're like, oh, shit, there's something wrong with this competition. Let's can it. So after my year, they didn't do it again. So I apologize to all the first traps out there for ruining their chance.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing. Amazing achievement. And look, P&O have also announced their first Pride cruise, right? And that what they will be doing. And one thing about sharing the same friends as you and I I heard about a P&O cruise film shoot. I just want to know if it's not released yet. I can't wait to see it. But what's your favorite part of the day that you can share?
The P&O film shoot. I don't know about this one. When is that
Don't you?
happening? We're
Yeah,
running
well,
out of
it's
time. I leave the country in a month.
yeah, yeah. Apparently, it's happening.
Oh,
Um,
yes, I know the one you're talking about. Let's just say that it's really hard to try and be the center of attention when there's a a beautiful trans woman, two boisterous drag queens, and a man who plays an instrument. I don't know the name of it, and I'm sorry. Um, he's from Adelaide. If I Without giving away too much, and they're all in sequence, and they're all standing there in speedos. But it was very hard to steal the limelight when there's so many loud characters there.
well, you know what? It's going to be amazing. You know, that pinhole cruise thing would be awesome with you guys. You know, what
Yeah,
an
I'm
amazing.
really looking forward to it. So it's 4 days, 3 nights.
Yep.
We obviously, given the current circumstances, we're not going anywhere. Just going out and in,
Yeah.
up to Manly and back. I'm joking, obviously, but yeah. So just going to go out, enjoy ourselves for a few days. There's going to be parties, events. I'll be DJing. I'll be hosting events, and I'll be waking up nice and early to PT people as well, which is going to be tough.
It's amazing. So you probably got the best room on the ship.
I hope so. I hope I'm not in the basement. I hope I at least have a window and I'm not sleeping on a washing machine or something.
Look, I want to say also, I've written a book. I'm not sure whether you know much of my history, but I have written a memoir. Would that be something that you would like perhaps to do down the line?
I think it'd always be something I'd be interested in doing, just because of coming from being a young gay athlete who quit sport and the journey it took for me to get back into sport. But we need the last chapter to be a really, really high point. So let's add a few more chapters before we can
I'm sure
put pen to paper.
there's a few more chapters in the pipeline, I'm pretty sure. Let's talk about the Australian bobsleigh team.
Yeah.
You're an international athlete.
The worst kept secret.
It's I mean, there's never been an Australian film made from that. I think you'd be perfect.
The Cool Runnings year was actually Australia's first Olympics in bobsleigh as well, and the only team we beat were the Jamaicans. So it could have been us.
Yeah,
it could have been us.
And you could play the lead role very well. Absolutely.
We'll see. From bobsleigh to Broadway.
That's one thing I want to ask you.
That's that extra chapter.
Yeah. Well, are you an actor?
No, no. I've done a few acting jobs in my time. I enjoy it. It's fun. But I wouldn't call myself an actor.
I think we act
But
every day.
if there's any Hollywood director out there who wants to throw me into a series, I'll sign me up. If Gus Kensworthy can do it, so can I.
I'm sure you can do it. Absolutely. We act every day. We put our social masks. We're out there doing what we do.
Yeah, I acted straight until I was 14, so I'm sure I can pull a few tricks out of the bag.
Now you're acting straight for 14 years. When you came out, how was your coming out story? What can you share that with us? I want to get.
Yeah. So for me, it was interesting. I was a rugby league player. Played for the school. Played on weekends, 2 games a week. Mum never expected it. When I came out, she goes, "But you have all these female friends." Yes, that's right, Mum. I do. I don't want to sleep with them. So for me, it was a bit difficult. She took it pretty badly. We obviously that was some issues, and we had several years of just trying to mend that bridge. And the way I see it now that I've matured is that for me to come out, it took me several years before I even accepted it myself. It took a couple more years before I felt comfortable telling anybody. And her reaction was she had to react instantly. Mums always, when they have a child, especially a son, they always dream of their daughter-in-laws and their grandchildren. And the second you're born, that's what they're thinking of, your wedding day to some pretty little blonde girl from Wollongong. And I ruined that for her in the middle of an argument. So I forgive her for her reaction at the time, and I completely understand it now that I've gotten a bit older.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that story. Because you're
I
from the
actually, I
South.
still, I, yeah, good old Wollongong. I still remember
Yeah.
what she served for dinner. It was pork chop and peas. Um, and then she came out and we had the big argument, and I was like, I don't like pork chops anyway, so that's when I left.
I've been told I'm moving my face too much, so I won't move my face then. I'm very
A little,
extreme.
little bobblehead.
Now you're huge on social media, followed by hundreds of thousands, almost 500,000 people actually, on both Instagram and Facebook. Do people recognize you on the streets and clubs and so forth?
Not as much anymore. When I was competing and stuff, and I was in the media. Now I'm just a has-been who does face Instagram live videos at 6 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm joking. Thank you for having me on.
Right. Yeah,
I get the occasional person, but I think now the good thing is it's more about my advocacy work and the work I do for the community, which is why people come up and say thank you generally, or there's less people calling me a wanker or something. So that's always a plus.
Well, you do a lot of charity work, so congratulations on that, and thank you so much for being there as a sportsman. In having that platform and giving back to the community is amazing. I mean,
Thank you. So the big thing for me is, I did bobsleigh for the Australian team. We didn't earn money. I can't donate money to charities because I'm not Elton John or like Cristiano Ronaldo. So it would have been a waste that if I didn't use my profile that I gained from the sport to do some good in the world, and hopefully have a positive impact on some people's lives and do a bit of good. And to be honest, I find it much more, it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done, is actually the advocacy work.
I could so relate with that. Absolutely amazing. And how important is being, your advocacy work within the sports as well? I mean, how important is that?
For me, it's big because, as I mentioned earlier, I actually left rugby league at 16 because homophobia is so entwined within sport. You hear it every weekend on the pitch. If you drop the ball or you do something, you're a faggot. And it's like, I just dropped the ball. I didn't drop the soap. Like, come on, guys. But so because it's seen as so normal within sport that as a gay teen, you don't feel welcome there. So I'm hoping, I generally hope that me continuing in sport, getting as far as I have, and hopefully can go further this year, will encourage some people to stay competing, and continue doing what they love.
Absolutely right, 100%. And yeah, awesome work there, Simon, with that. I feel like I know you because you're on the magazines internationally and locally. But what's one thing that people don't know about Simon Dunn?
People know everything.
Is there anything that we don't know?
Some of this, oh God. Some of the stuff I've told, my poor kids are gonna Google me and be like, "Oh, what the hell?" It's actually funny. One of my nephews were down there visiting once, and because it was when I was bobsledding, and he mentioned to me that he'd Googled me at his school, and he would have been 8 at the time, and I was like, "Oh shit!" That's why. What don't people know about me? I really don't know. I'm kind of honest and out there about everything. I can let me get back to you on that one.
Yeah, okay. Get back to me, whatever you like. Whatever you like. This is your show. This is your show, Simon. This is where you're such an inspiration to millions of people all around the world. You probably don't even know that you've reached so many, souls. So look, just wanted to shine your light tonight, and it's such an honor to have you on the show again, and all that stuff. Now, if there was a TV show that you'd like to go on, because I've actually applied for Big Brother. You might see me in the house this year.
You see the celebrity one's out. Did you?
Watch out.
They've announced the celebrity contestants today.
Yeah.
And as usual, people are like, who are they? Well, they're on there, so they must be somebody.
But would you like to be on any show? What show would you like to be on?
I think the big one for me would be SAS.
Oh yeah,
I like
yes,
I want to I like the physical aspect of it. I don't want to sit in the house and get in little cat fights with like Caitlyn Jenner or some boring old like Karen. I'd rather go out there and the ultimate decision is if I can do something physically. Similar with sport, the reason I'm getting back into bobsleigh is because I want to prove to myself that I can do it. I did make the Olympics last time, and hopefully I can do it this time. Fingers crossed. And it's all on me, and that's why SAS would be the same. It's just get out, and have my ass kicked for a couple of weeks, and cry and hurt, but just know that you've achieved something.
absolutely. And congratulations on going again for the Australian bobsleigh team. I mean, you're training so hard. You're one of the most hardest of workers with what you do. I mean,
You don't really have a choice. It was actually harder before lockdown because I was traveling to Narrabeen to push sleds and then out to Homebush for sprint training. So I was all over Sydney, and obviously no one who's watching knows where I live. But for reference, I live in the gay bubble, so Oxford Street, and I was doing about 10 hours of travel a week, and then I'd have to go to work. The benefit is now I just train in the park next to my house. But I'm getting done what I can. Hopefully I can leave. I'm allowed out of the country in September, at which point I will head to Calgary and push sleds and try and achieve all I can, and hopefully go to the big dance and make Australia proud.
absolutely. Congratulations. Good luck. I'm sure Australia's vying for you, mate. You're absolutely amazing.
Many hurdles to get over, but I'm kicking them out of the way. I'm not big on jumping over them. I'll just run through them.
Look, I know in Australia now you can do this. You've done it
Thanks,
before, mate. You're a champion, bro. An absolute champion. So,
Fingers crossed. I'm putting all the work in.
fingers crossed. And even with COVID, if you are able to go over there, would the training be, I mean, harder as well there, or try to, or what's
I would have to commit full time for training whilst there.
Yeah.
Canada have Calgary has this thing called the Ice House, and basically it's the start of the bobsleigh track, and that's it. So rather than practicing your push starts and having to do the track and get your ass kicked for a minute, you can just keep practicing the starts. So I'll spend about 6 weeks there before the season just practicing my pushes, training properly. Ironically, I will probably, when I leave the country, it'll probably be when I get out of lockdown. It's upsetting to think that I'll probably get out of lockdown before everyone here, but it is what it is. We all need to get vaccinated, so
fantastic.
I'll get there. I'm also it'll be interesting to see what's happening in the rest of the world as well. What kind of a shit show is going on out there, and we're all in our little Australia bubble thinking everything's fine when it's not.
And those are out there going through some mental issues and mental problems. What would you say to these guys?
So the biggest thing, obviously, lockdown is one of those things. I've spoken out about mental health in the past. I've had some issues myself with, it's called adjustment disorder, where your body struggles to adjust to large changes in situations. So similar to what we're doing now. With that, you get anxious, you obviously become emotional and those kind of things. And I spoke to a doctor about it, and they suggested that I try and, even though I'm not in the situation I was previously, you try and mirror that situation. So, for example, with me with training, I can't go and train in Narrabeen, so I can train at the park here. You've just got to try and get back into that normal routine. And the big thing, I think, is not locking yourself inside. We're allowed to go outside an hour a day, go for a walk, see the sun. I feel sorry for people who live alone. I'm so glad that we're allowed to have the singles bubble now, but that was 5 weeks into this, and people weren't allowed to have visitors or see anybody. So use that singles bubble, see the person, see your nominated person, go out for a walk and those kind of things.
Very important, very important. And also maybe even on your FaceTime and WhatsApp with your family and friends, and then make sure you
Or
reach out.
just tune in with us on a Sunday night while we have a chat. What else is there doing? Wasn't doing anything anyway. Couldn't go to the Beresford.
Exactly. This is exactly why I do these shows, just to kind of touch base with my community and stuff like you. Hello, amazing.
Yeah, like I'm stuck inside. What else am I going to do?
Stuck inside, Simon. You might just get on Michael
Yeah.
El-Bacha's show.
I had to dust off my ring light and everything to get it out.
Well, you're looking absolutely handsome as always. Okay, now I just wanted to know. This is on a cliche question or whatever. Who do you idolize? What athlete?
What athlete? I think for me, it would have to probably be David Pocock. It's easy for me to mention a gay athlete, or even with my own thing, it's easy for me to wave the flag, being like, gay rights, love us. But David Pocock is a straight man who is an advocate and an ally of the LGBTQI community. He doesn't need to do that. He does it out of the fact that he believes it's the right thing to do, and he's called out homophobia on the rugby field. He spoke out for marriage equality. Any player, and he's one of the best rugby players in the world.
Yeah.
Any player who is out there being a champion for a cause that he isn't actually, he's not part of that community. And I guess similarly with me, when people always question why I work with HIV charities, like you don't have to have, I don't have to have HIV to want to do better for the world, and it directly affects my community. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to be a champion for people who don't have a voice.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Because you've got to be brave to even be a Bobby Goldsmith Foundation ambassador, because people assume I did the same thing. I photo shoot for HIV, but I'm not HIV. So it's a big thing that you're doing.
Because I think the other day was my 5th year of working with HIV charities, and I have so many people. Even one of my friends recently who was like, "Oh, you're HIV positive." So what I'll do is I'll be like, "Felix, come over here." Like I'll bring a few people around, and I was like, "What did you say?" People just assume, and for me, it doesn't matter. Regardless, I don't care what their opinion is of me. Or if they think I'm HIV positive or negative, that doesn't affect me at all. But people need to realize you don't need to have HIV to be a champion for HIV causes. And I think that we can break down the stigma more if more of the community would be willing to learn, educate themselves, be more understanding. The education for me, I had to seek it myself. It wasn't something that was given to me. I saw the occasional poster on the back of a toilet at ARC. But that's the last thing you're going to read is the stats on HIV or safe sex in the toilet of ARC when you try to piss when someone's trying to get in. So my journey was having to learn, wanting to learn about the community and what's happened to us. And that's why I now try and do what I can for the community. And HIV is one of those charities that I work with.
Amazing. Well said. Wise words, mister. Wise words. And absolutely. And now I know you're all loved up. Is there any wedding bells?
No. He's probably watching actually. So yeah, it's great. No kidding. No, he's in the room next to me, and I'm pretty sad that I will have to head overseas for 6 months to try and for the season. He's also an ex-athlete, so he gets it. Yeah. He gets the importance of what we're doing. This is my job. If I was in the Navy or I was a firefighter, it'd be the same thing. So many people have been like, "Oh, so what's happening with Felix?" I'm not dying. I'm just going overseas for a couple of months, guys. So we don't have to break up because I'm going to North America for 4 months. I'll be back.
How important is that supportive of to have a partner like that and to support you like that? I mean,
well, he's amazing. He has to have the real job and pay the bills whilst I still chase dreams. And I'm very grateful for that. He's been amazing. He wants me to go do it, and he knows because I missed out on the games last time, and there's been nights where I sit up just looking at photos and being sad and upset that I didn't make it, and he wants me to achieve that dream of mine.
Yeah.
So
So
he's been great with that.
that's
And
amazing.
then we
mate.
can FaceTime every day, and
Exactly. Just what we're doing. We can go on Sunday Night Lives as well every
yeah, well,
Sunday.
what is we do? I think so. It works out to be lunchtime here when it's nighttime in North America, so it'll work out perfect. And I remember last time I did it, because you get so many little knocks on the head that I can't type text anyway, so FaceTime will be perfect.
Yeah. You know what? You'll be great for World Pride 2023. I reckon.
Well, if Albert's watching.
Yeah. There's a lot of amazing people watching. If you want to answer any of the questions, feel free to do so.
My phone's being crap. By the way, there's heaps of questions. This is my first time on Instagram Live, and it's not loading for me. So
there's so many questions, and I don't want to touch the screens because I'm new to this as well. So, but there's a lot of people asking questions.
I'm 34. I'm basically a boomer.
Yeah, you can answer your questions if you like.
I can't see any. Mine won't load. What have we got? Have we got any questions?
Yep, it's going through. Thanks for the honesty of re mental health. Someone said that you're the best Australian bobslayer.
I hope so.
Yeah, of course he is.
That's debatable. I'm sure some of my teammates would debate that.
Elevates. It's nice to have someone who elevates you. There's some really nice stuff. I just don't want to and I want to say thank you to Ruby Rose Management for making tonight possible, and Katcha Music. Did
they request a shout out? Did they?
They never request a shout out. I love it, Simon.
So I'm in trouble. I'll get a phone call after this, and I'll be like, Simon.
I'll be going, Michael, that was really bad, or Michael, that was good. Or
you swore 17 times, Simon.
And how long are we going for? Because I've got to save this for. You know how long
we're at 33 minutes.
Oh, good. We've got another 7 minutes now before we can actually save it. So this is about you, Simon. What would you like to put out there to the world, to the universe? What's going on in here in your heart of yours?
So I guess we've spoken all. For me, sport. I'm hoping, obviously, to qualify for the Olympics next year. They're in Beijing, so we'll see how it goes. So I'll spend the next 6 to 8 months on the road, training, competing. But there's also the fact that for me, the bigger picture is what I can give to the community, what I can give back. So it's humbling to know that for me, it's not just about representing Australia. It's also the opportunity to represent my community. My supporters and followers have been amazing. They message me almost daily to encourage me with encouragement. They are the reason I've been able to continue doing what I'm doing. Because trust me, when you spend 8 hours a day training, you've crashed twice in a bobsleigh at 150 kilometers an hour. You're on the other side of the world. To your family, you often wonder if it's worth it. And knowing that I can have a positive impact on people's lives proves that it is.
Absolutely amazing. You know, I'm behind you. Australia's behind you. The world's behind you. So I know you will achieve this passion of yours, mate. This dream of yours.
And whilst we're talking about it, if anyone knows a company or a business that want to sponsor me or my team, just feel free to slide into my DM.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to do that? You know, absolutely amazing. And again, Gay Uncle Day. Let's go back to that. Being so proud you're the face of that. And do you have a favourite nephew or niece?
You can't. I've got a favourite niece. Actually, I do have a favourite niece because there's only one. But so I've got one niece and 4 nephews. I posted a story about one of because I've got twins at the top, which are a boy and a girl. There's one boy in the middle and twin boys at the bottom. And I posted an article earlier that I wrote in 2017 that one of them, he likes to wear a dress. He's a princess. And just for Gay Uncles Day, the importance we can have on kind of making them feel like they can be who they want to be their authentic selves. And that's a role that we as the third party can shine on them and just make sure that they don't go through what we did. And I definitely don't have a favorite. I love them all individually. But if you were to ask my mum and my sister, the grandmother of my sister, they would probably give you an answer, but I won't say it.
I know exactly where you came from. I totally get it. I've got so many nieces and nephews. There is one little special person in my heart because I'm the godfather. Otherwise,
yeah, I'm the godfather for the older two. I'll always love them. They were the first ones, but it's weird. You find different reasons to love, and you find the uniqueness and something special about each one. So that there'll be the occasional one who you're like, you're a little shit, but you're my little shit. Like, everyone hates you, but I love you because you're my nephew and I want you to piss people off. And because the middle one is a terror, and my sister calls me every time. She got caught. I got a picture of this big bag of weed, and it was like the day after I'd left there, and I lectured him. I was like, look, don't let me down, buddy. Gave him the biggest guilt trip. And then the next day I got a photo of my sister like, look what that little bastard had. She goes, I'm up the police station now with him. I was like, I left 18 hours ago. You promised me you're going to be good. But kids.
And obviously, it would be rude of me not to ask you, because you're a sportsman, international one, and with Israel Folau's, with his kind of attitude, what's your take on that?
Israel Folau? Never heard of her.
I hope you didn't name back.
No, he blocked me on social media back in years ago because I would call him out on his blatant homophobia and just his own crap. And I spoke on Sky News about the effect that his words and what he says has on the greater community, because every time he says something, that's going to impact a kid. A kid's going to get bullied because of what he's said. Kids are dying. Kids are committing suicide who are struggling with their sexuality, and it would come from a direct result of the things that he's said, because it makes it okay for teenage boys to say the same thing. I have no time for Israel Folau. I hope he comes back and plays. I'm sick of hearing about him trying to come back. Just let him. He's an old man like me. He's even going to be competitive, but he's promised every single club he's wanted to play with that he'll keep his mouth quiet, and he hasn't. So every time he says something, I'm happy to call him out on it. There's no place for those kind of views and homophobia within sport, and he has become the poster boy for homophobia in sport.
It's really sad, isn't it? Absolutely sad. Well, thank you so much for going out there, and sorry that
I'm still sad. I'm still sad he blocked me though. I'm really upset that I don't get to see his Bible quotes. I don't know how I live.
I totally go get it.
Actually, I joke to my managers. I was like, so if I do make the Olympics, can we do like a celebrity boxing match when I get back, and I'll donate all my proceeds to a gay charity just to piss him off.
Yeah, the sad thing about it, what's his name? That Israel Folau was also on Star Observer, being a rugby or for a couple of years before that. I don't.
Yeah, I'm trust me. I'm completely aware of Israel Folau and his blonde highlights on the cover of Sydney Star Observer. But
I love you, man. It's awesome.
I have no time for that man. I think he could be doing a lot more good for the world, and he could be being a Christian. He could work with helping the needy, but instead he decides to call out and being homophobic. And I just think that is a misuse of profile and what he could be doing for the rest of us.
You're absolutely on the ball for that, 100%. And as a Christian myself, I feel sorry for the Christians. You know, for even like, it's really bad. So, but anyway, let's just we got to wrap this up. So,
but can we not
Simon
end it on Israel Folau?
No, we're not going to end up with that. We're going to end it with what you want to do. We want to end it with what you'd like to say, you know, to your fans out there, because you've got so many millions, mate. They're all watching on. So
hopefully, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Gay Uncles Day. I know we're all in lockdown, and a lot of us wouldn't have been able to spend time with their families. So just make sure you reach out to them, chat to your friends, reach out to those in need. I'm about to head overseas and slide down hills at stupid speeds. So hope you get to enjoy my journey and just enjoy this shit time we're in. For as much as you can. I was actually discussing today, remember March last year when we were all like, oh, this will be quick and over with? It wasn't. It wasn't. So just do the best we can at the moment. That's the only advice and message I can give people.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's an absolute honour to have you on the show. Simon Dunn, you're an absolute legend, inspiration to millions, to me. Mate, lots of love.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Happy Gay Uncle Day to you, mister. And I can't wait.
Happy Gay Uncle Day.
Yeah, and I can't wait for you to make the Australian bobsleigh team. You're going to do
crossed.
it. You know?
Beijing 2022. Hopefully I can be there.
And before I let you go, what's your social media? How can people stay in touch with you?
By Simon Dunn. Yeah, Simon Dunn. Hopefully you can find me. The guy who has Simon Dunn won't reply to my messages to give it to me. So if you find him, can you message him as well? Tell him I want my handle. All right, mate. Take care.
Thank you so much. Happy Gay Uncle Day to you, Mr. Simon Dunn, and the world.
Happy Gay Uncle
Thank
Day.
you.
Have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye.